we're going to have there were some questions for you that I want to ask you from some of the listeners. So I'm going to read you these questions.
Okay.
All right. For every episode, we do some listener questions. We hear you. If you want to have your questions answered on the Reborn pod, make sure that you drop us a question below, and hopefully we can get to that answered for you. All right. Mom, what is the best advice you have for any stressed out parents who might be listening right now? Oh, I feel like I'm like stressed out all the time. I know what it is. Can I answer this one for you?
Yes, go ahead. Answer this for me.
Well, you answer it first.
No, you go ahead.
I say drink a Corona. Because we've had a couple Coronas this week.
Yeah. But we haven't been stressed out.
I've been stressed out.
Well, yeah. She's been a little stressed out some days.
Yeah, so what would you say, like, parents are just stressed out?
Well, right now is a really stressful time for everybody. This is a whole new...
Take them to the woods and just tell them to go run.
Well, yeah. You just, it's the perfect time to be with your family and get them out and do stuff and pay attention to their emotions and, what they're thinking about all this change in our life right now. Because it's not normal. And just to try to just spend more time with them. I think a lot of people are finding, they're getting closer. So there are some positive things about what's been happening here. So you just have to build on that and just try to be a family. Eat together, cook together, go to the park together, hike, do things you guys aren't used to doing together. And it'll probably stick. A lot of it'll stick when this is all over.
This is a good one, I think. How can parents encourage kids to be active and outside in an era ruled by screens?
In an era of what?
Ruled by screens, like video games and stuff.
Oh, well, you just have to shut those things off.
I have found that, like, time limits.
Yes.
Yeah.
Time limits are good. I mean, there's good things about all the electronics and everything, but you just need to have limits. And, of course, it depends on their ages and everything. And don't give in. I tell you, my kids, their famous things of growing up was, well, Sarah is doing it, and her parents are letting her go there, and she can do that. And I'm like, yeah. But you're not.
I think it's tough because, like, even
it's
for
hard.
me being a mom, because it's not like you think that there's not a manual for how to parent.
No.
So, and then when you start saying, oh, well, I don't understand why you're getting so upset, or like why you're saying no, because, Johnny is able to do this. And I always say, you know what? That's fine. Johnny's parents can let Johnny do X, Y, and Z, but I am not Johnny's parent.
You have to be consistent and stick with that. But right now you just need to, have them put the electronics down.
Yeah.
And
time limits.
Yeah, some time limits and interact. Get them to help you cook, help you do stuff outside in your own yard and do things. You'll get a lot of pushback, but you do it kindly and, just say, this is what we're doing today. So trying to listen to them too and ask them questions. I know a lot of kids aren't talking about, they don't really know what's going on. Mm-hmm. It depends on their ages.
So here's one. I'm interested in hearing what your mom's exercise routine looks like and how she's adapted with age. I'm pushing 50 and things are changing. Help! It's so discouraging. So how do you how for fitness, how have you adapted, a lifestyle, or how have you changed with just everything?
Well, I think I was always very active. I would rather split wood and plant a garden rather than mop floors and clean the bathroom. So I liked
outside.
I've always been an outside person.
Physical.
Yeah, physical. And so I think in my late 30s, I was always the same size, and my jeans started getting tighter, and I'm like, well, what's going on here? Of course, we didn't eat really healthy back then because that wasn't a big thing. But then when the kids got started in competitive soccer, and then I started going to the gym a little bit, and I started reading a little bit more about how muscle. I remember reading this. If you can build some muscle, your metabolism starts revving up more, and you can start burning calories while you're sleeping. And I'm like, oh, while I'm sleeping, I can burn calories? I like that. And I just remember that. And so you have to start, us gals, we have to start at an earlier age. It's a lifestyle change. And I didn't change my eating habits at that time because it wasn't such a prominent thing like it is now, and I'm glad we have. But I became more physical, a little bit more physical, and started training a little bit. And so you just have to start doing things that are comfortable for you. And the hardest thing is eating and your food, and with a family. And you work
because you have everybody likes everything different. You have to.
And with my kids, we didn't play that game. You ate what was on your
She's
plate.
She's basically talking about me because I'm a sucker, especially for Otto. Mom,
oh my goodness!
I'm like, getting better.
Yeah,
it is tough.
It is hard,
because especially at the end of the day, whenever you're just
you're
like,
so tired. You have to plan ahead.
You're like, I'm not ready to battle this.
Yeah, and I know you hear this from Ashley. Diet is a bigger role in how you want to look. It's a bigger role in how you feel and how your life is going to be easier and better. So I know you get all this from Ashley. You have to just plan ahead. And I'm guilty too. If I don't have something figured out or good stuff in the refrigerator, I if there's bad stuff,
chips and salsa.
Oh my gosh, yeah, chips and salsa, maybe a Corona, and then I'm not hungry for dinner, and so that's terrible. So it's a lifestyle change. I never encourage diets. It's you have to figure out what you can eat and what works with your family. Because they need to be on board.
Like a fad diet, because everybody jumps on these
I know.
bandwagons.
The keto, paleo, I've just never been a fan of doing that. Your body has to have a balance. And plus you mentally, financially, you have to have a balance of what you can do. So it's mainly prepping. And once you get that figured out, it's easier than you think. And you actually save money because you're not stopping. My favorite thing I say to new people when I'm working out with them or trying to get them to lose some weight, I'm like, if there's a drive-through, you drive by. You do not go through the drive-through because they don't have healthy food typically. And it's expensive.
Yeah.
So planning and get your family involved in helping you to plan the meals.
Again, it's the support.
It's the support.
Yeah.
Because
everything comes back to support.
Yeah. And you're actually instilling good things in them. They may go off to college and they get fat a little bit, they go a little wild. But if they have a good foundation, like I did, I got a little crazy in college. And fortunately, I met Ashley's dad, and he kind of settled me down a little bit. And, a good foundation is good. It's important because like Ashley brings back these things that I don't really realize the influence that I had on her life. So you do play a big role. And eating, try to train your kids now because in eating, they'll fight you on it. But
I battle with my kids every day.
Yeah, she does. And she has all the good healthy
stuff.
And
my mom's like, why are you letting him just get away with it? I'm like, Mom, I don't know. Sit down, Otto. Yeah. Or go to your room.
Mom, I can handle this.
Yeah,
I have to be quiet. So you want to teach them now to have good healthy eating habits, but you are in control. I feel really strongly that the mom has control.
In our house.
Right, and we grew up that way.
Yeah, we didn't have pop in our house. Every once in a while we'll have Oreos, but because we don't have them
when Gigi comes, they buy me double stuffed Oreos. I eat them all up because I don't really buy them.
We don't have any of those things in our house. Like whenever I do get Oreos or like some sort of, even like popsicles
you'll go
or something.
Off the reservation a bit.
Not me.
Oh, I do.
Yeah,
but I stop.
But even
that's why I don't have them in the house.
Like the Oreos will be gone in a day, and I'm like, And they're like, well, Mom, it's because you never have them in the house. So we got to they just inhale it.
before
But
they're gone.
I think a good relationship with food is also key. Like,
Very
I don't
much.
want the kids to be like, no, you can't have like these certain sweets.
No, and you
But
can't
it's a
deprive
balance. It
yourself
all-
about that either.
right,
Yeah,
it all comes back to a balance.
and I don't believe in cheat days. I
do.
Yeah, she does, and that's okay. She can get away with it, but I don't.
But you just eat. I actually don't have a cheat
right.
day.
And as you get
When
older,
I was competing, I had a cheat day.
Yeah.
Now it's like if I want to eat like a handful of M&Ms, I eat a handful of M&Ms.
yeah,
If I want to
you've
go
really
down
balanced
to
it
American
out.
Brew and eat one of those strawberry coconut
I saw
scones
those this morning
that I
yeah.
see right now, I'll go have a scone.
Yeah. But back to the question about as you get older. I mean, start paying attention in your late 30s because our hormones start changing, and you can still be on the same track as you were, like I was, and then my body started changing a little bit, and I didn't like that, and so I just started exercising more. At that time, I was not eating healthier, but that is a big key. And nowadays, you don't really have excuses not to eat healthy.
Right.
Because you know. And you want your kids to be healthy because what they say now is the younger they are, they're starting to, get overweight. And then as they get older, they start getting diabetes. So, your kids, you have control over your kids' future.
Yeah. It's just putting in the time and the effort.
Yeah, it's time, and they're going to push
Staying
back.
on top of it.
And you stay, and you kind of start teaching them young. And you don't force them, but you just encourage them.
Yeah. All right, last question. What experiences inspired your mom to live an active lifestyle and be that beacon that influenced you to do the same?
Well, I was kind of born that way a little bit, I think, because I was just a tomboy, and I was really active.
Were you afraid that I was going to get made fun of? Because I was
No,
pretty
you were
athletic.
small. She was pretty small, though.
But
She
you were
was short.
small?
Yeah, but
But
you
were
were
you afraid
small.
that I was going to get made fun of for being like buff? I was pretty athletic and muscular growing up.
Right, but no, because
You weren't worried about that? Times were starting to
not
change?
really. Yeah, and I got teased a little bit growing up just with my calf muscles, but no, not really. What was the question?
What, like,
This happens when you get older too. What was that question?
What experiences inspired your mom, you, to live an active lifestyle and to be that beacon that influenced me to do the same? I don't know if I got into health and fitness for sure. I know for me, like watching you make those changes, like the milk, changing the milk with my dad
Yeah.
and like switching over to skim milk. I remember being like, healthy. What does that mean? And watching you in the aerobics room, like working out, and then being like,
Well,
what is
actually,
this?
yes.
So for me, it was seeing you make those changes.
Well,
That's
and
kind
I
of
started
what-
making some of those changes for their dad somewhat, because when I would start running, he wouldn't run.
Oh, yeah.
And I got him to where he would jog a little bit at the little park where we lived and go to town and go jog. And he always said, I will never like this, but I'm going to do it because I know it's healthy, and I'm going to do it with you. So you can encourage, your family to,
Right.
to do things with you
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
But I think watching them get more active, playing competitively, we just all and it was a lifestyle. We didn't live in the city, we lived out in the country.
That's why I
And
really want to find some land out here. So I can have a baby goat.
don't go there.